Hello and welcome to the MMA Elevator with me, Darish. Today we're breaking down all the bets for UFC Fight Night Moreno versus Kavanagh. It's a cool card. There's quite a few spots despite being lots of big favourites. I think we've got some good underdogs. I think we've got some good round betting, some good specifics. Actually some decent odds on this card, which I think we can hit. I've got breakdowns for the whole card, every single fight, and then also parlays at the end if you guys want to stick around for that. Got 1,000 to 1 parlay. So first fight, we got Wes Schultz versus Damon Pinaz. I think Wes Schultz is super live for the sub here. This is going to go two ways. Either Wes Schultz is going to shoot, get takedown, get sub, because he's much better on the ground than this Pinaz guy. But Pinaz is a heavy-handed dude who throws a nice 1-2. So I would not be surprised if we saw Wes Schultz shoot, fail, get wrapped up by that fucking wizard from Pinaz. And end up in the second round and probably get knocked out. So yeah, there's two spots on this card, both on this fight, both decent odds. We got Pinaz at 8-11 and Schultz at 9-2 for the sub. The first round sub is something like, I think it's 8-1, which I do like quite a bit for Wes Schultz to get the sub in the first round. Second fight, we've got Eric Silva versus Francis Marshall. Eric Silva he's alright. He's not good, but he's alright. He's a long dude, but he's just super explosive. Tries to grapple and be a karate fighter. Francis Marshall's going to be able to deal with that. I think we're going to see Eric Silva gas in the second and third. He does anyway, and especially in Mexico City, we're going to see him gas pretty hard. Marshall to get the sub second and third, I do like. The finish second and third is 3-2. It's pretty decent odds. If you want to go a little bit safer, because Marshall can, he's a decent boxer. He's not the most powerful dude, but he's a decent boxer. And then either way, past the first is 1-2. Over 1.5 is 4-5. It's kind of dreamland there. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Eric Silva's not that good, and Eric Silva's got first round finishing potential. But yeah, for me, Francis Marshall gets this done second and third pretty easily. Douglas Silva de Andrade and Javier Reyes. So for me, like 5 years ago, I would have backed the Silva all the way. I think he's the more talented striker in general, just a better fighter overall. But he's 40, he's off 2-year layoff. He's in his fights before that as well. He's very inactive with his offense. So yeah, I'm thinking that Reyes is gonna be able to get this done, edge out on the scorecards at 2.5 to 1. It's pretty decent odds. If you feel a little bit more uncomfortable, there's I don't know what's going on in the background. There is the either way decision line, which is at 4-5. Sorry, my background's fucking up. But yeah, either way decision 4-5. I think is great money on that card. That bet. I fucking like that a lot. We got Christian Quinones versus Chris Moutinho. And Quinones is the far better striker here. Chris Moutinho is just not. He's a guy who wades forward, fights with his face too much. He's not changed very much at all since the O'Malley fight. And yeah, Quinones is not the best fighter in the world, but he does hit hard, and he's got some clean boxing. He's a long dude as well. So I think we're going to see Quinones pack up Moutinho pretty easily. I think he's going to land a lot of strikes. I'm going for the KO outright. Evens, I think, is good money. They're giving us nice money because they think that Moutinho can survive. And yeah, he's a tough dude. He's landed with O'Malley, but Quinones can land a real big shot. His whole game is walking you onto shit as well. So I think he's going to do really well in that one. I'm going for KO outright. I would not be hating the KO second and third from Quinones, but yeah, evens I like the outright. Aiden Perez versus Macy Chizon. This one's going to go decision. I've seen a few people say Macy Chizon's going to get the sub. I would be surprised. I think she's done well against overwhelming girls and wearing them down and then getting the sub. You might see it in this one because of the Mexico City X factor. Perez is not. She's an athletic girl, but she uses a lot of energy. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's on winning this one. So I'm going to go either way decision. Either 1-1 or 3-1. She's on. Third of decision is probably the best money, and that's at 2.5 to 1, 2 to 1. Decent money on that one. I'm kind of staying away from the one just because I'm not sure. There's a few X factors for me. I don't know how good Perez is. I don't know where Macy Chizon is at in her career. Perez is alright, but she doesn't throw that much on the feet. Has to get it down, which she can do against Chizon, but if she can't, then she's going to be stuck on the feet with a girl who's throwing a lot. But is Chizon going to get, she throws a little bit recklessly. She kind of leaves her chin up in the air. So, yeah, for me, the either way decision is not worth it. If you want to bet on this fight, pick a side. pick a side. Good money. Probably go third round decision if you're going to go Shizon because she has got finishing upside. Granda versus Medina. This fight, yeah, realistically, it's like, you know, how much do you believe that Medina's tough? Versus how good do you think Granda is? You know, Granda's all right. He's a dude coming down from heavyweight, so he's a big dude. He hits hard, but he's a bit of a clomper. I quite liked his accuracy when I saw the tape, despite him just throwing sort of big clumping armish punches. They didn't look like they got that much technique behind them, but they do land. He catches you on the end of his punches pretty nicely when you circle around and stuff. Medina's head movement's not impressed me that much, but he's got some. So yeah, go two ways in this one. You either got the Granda KO outright at a little bit better than evens, or you got the Granda past the first at 8-11. I don't mind either spot. I'm probably going to stay away from this one just because I'm unsure exactly how it's going to happen. But if I win some money, then earlier on the card, then I will probably hit this one at just like a Granda something. This one is, I think, a really, really nice spot here. We've got Luna versus Pacheco. And yeah, Luna, I think, is just miles better than Pacheco. Pacheco is a guy who likes to trade. He's going to get hit. He gets dropped in most fights, whereas in the UFC anyway. And yeah, I think Luna's got finishing upside either way. He's got the KO. He's got the subs. He can do both. So for me, I think Pacheco's shown that he can take a shot and then end up on the ground. And I think Luna's going to sub him after that. So I wouldn't be surprised about Luna first or second round sub. If you want to go a bit safer, Luna KO sub is basically going to come in. Like, I'm pretty sure about that one. You know, I can't say I'm 100% that's free money or anything like that because it's illegal apparently. But pretty certain he's going to get this one done. Yeah, Rodriguez versus Borjas. And you know, I was having a little chat with my mate Charlie, and Borjas is a very good guy. I do like Borjas. I think he's a good guy. He's got a decent jab on him, and I think he's a very experienced MMA athlete. To be fair to him, he's been in the UFC for a while. But Rodriguez is just a guy who will put on a lot of heat. He will throw combos at you. He will hit hard. And yeah, I don't love Borjas' just tendency to like let fights happen to him. I think he might fight hard in the first round, but I think Rodriguez is consistent, staying on the outside, darting in, throwing a combo. It's just going to tick up more punches and take up the round more. If Borges is able to stick his jab and keep him on his back foot and consistently land that jab, then I back it. But I don't think he generally does that. He lands 1 or 2 or 3 really nice jabs in the fight, but tends to just get, like, he's just too focused on blocking and doesn't really do enough of his offense to sway the fight that much. I think Rodriguez is probably getting this done. I like the Rodriguez decision line, 5-2. I think we're kind of juiced on that. Borges has shown that he's a tough dude. And Rodriguez, I think, is maybe not quite that level to be able to get him out of there. So yeah, I think the Rodriguez decision line is very nice, but I would not, don't hate you for going for the KO either. Shariez by KO or Shariez KO second or third, and there also should be Shariez KO or submission on this one. He's got the submissions. He's got his most wins as submissions, but I think, the thing is that Bunes is a good submission artist himself. He's a good grappler. So although Shariez does jump on kiddies and does have good grappling, if Bunes gets hurt, I think I'm tempted by the KO line more, personally, because I just think that Shariez hits very hard. I think Bunes gasses super hard in the second or third, which is why I'm thinking the Shariez KO second or third. And yeah, I just think Shariez hits very hard. I think he's going to hit him on the feet, and I think Bunes is probably... I haven't seen him drop, so... or maybe he has, but what was it called? It's not very frequent that he drops. He tends to just get hit and just like try to do shoulder rolls and all that sort of stuff. I think we're going to see that against the fence and then a TKO by Charrier. Second and third, I think is juiced. If you want to go KO or sub second and third, it's like 2-1 as well. So don't hate that at all. Daniel Zellhuber versus King Green. Zellhuber is a tall motherfucker. King Green is a shortish man. And that's going to be how this fight goes, really. King Green should... if you put it on paper, he should win this fight. He's got the boxing. He's not too dissimilar from MJ. Just the difference is that MJ throws a lot more volume and tends to be a little bit more in the pocket. King Green likes to be on the outside, defend, walk you down, and then occasionally land pop shots here and there and all that sort of stuff. Doesn't really do too much of punching, moving, punching, rolling, all that sort of stuff. He just waits, blocks. And I think we're going to see Zellhuber implement his kicking game in this one. I think he's going to be on the outside. I think he's going to be kicking more. And I think he's going to win the decision. I don't hate it if you back the Bobby decision at 6-1. is fucking nuts, to be honest. But yeah, if you want to go safe, either way decision is evens, and that is very live for me. It's a very nice spot. Monavera versus David Martinez. Monavera, again, I think he's got a good spot here. I think David Martinez is kind of hittable. I think he fights, despite circling, when he fights, he darts in and out, which is something that Vera hasn't really... He's fought guys that are happy striking, moving backwards, but Martinez really has to be moving forwards while he's striking. He doesn't really strike that well. Touch, move. He doesn't really do that. It tends to be in the fire a little bit more, which is where Vera can do work. So the Vera decision line, 9-2, I do not mind it whatsoever. I think it's very legit and very likely. The way I like to play these cards is that I like to do early bets, so then I got money, and then I can put a little bit here and there just to, always going to enjoy the rest of the night and make some more money. But if I lose, it's not that deep, because for me, if I've got parlays that end on the later fights, then I end up being, I'll win, and then I'll lose, So, generally, I think Vera by decision and Martinez by decision. I don't, pick your fire. Martinez is a more active dude. Realistically, he has the ability to win this fight for sure, but 1-2, I don't love it. I think Vera is likely to win this fight. Moreno versus Kavanagh. For me, it's going to go two ways. I think Kavanagh, I don't think he's going to get Moreno out there. I think he's got the ability to leg kick, jab, move, be the guy who's quicker in there, win the first 3 rounds, and then survive the last 2. Moreno is a guy who's getting older and, has takedowns, has service, but Kavanagh's shown pretty decent takedown defense, so I don't think that's super likely. I think Moreno, if he gets I would not be surprised if he got the KO late, because Kavanagh was obviously going to slow down. He's super explosive, super quick. But if he's not able to get the KO, I wouldn't be surprised if he won the last 3. But I'm backing Kavanagh to be able to get the first 3 in there. I think Moreno's been slowing down. He's been throwing less. I think he's not fought someone like Kavanagh who's got so much footwork going on. So yeah, I'm backing the Kavanagh decision. Again, it's not something I'll be hitting on the parlay, but it is something I probably will be thinking about later on in the card. So these are the parlays. We've got Wes Schultz sub first round, which is a crazy juicer. If that comes in, then this is not too far off of what should happen realistically. It's what should happen. It's what should happen. The Sharia's KO is a little bit saucy, so if you want to change that for the 2nd and 3rd round sub or KO, I don't hate it. If you want to change the Marshall to a finish 2nd and 3rd round to I think it's 1.1, maybe even, something like that, don't hate it. If you want to change the Reyes to decision either way, I don't hate it either way. Next parlay, we've got 110-1. This one I do like quite a lot. I think this one is actually super live. I'm hitting this a couple of times, to be honest with you. Marshall should be able to get it done. I think Marshall past the first is a little bit nicer if you can find that on your betting lines. Just because that 0.5 is a little bit sketchy to me. I don't know what Silver's going to look like 2nd and 3rd with the altitude. And this is the Safeman's parlay. I think this is very, very likely. If you want to be a little bit safer, win a 10-1. I think 10-1's lovely. But yeah, we've got Marshall over 1.5. Again, that 0.5 is a little bit sketchy, so if you want to go a little bit safer, the 1-2 at past the 2nd round, don't hate it. Reyes fight to decision either way. Very, very, very likely. Quinones KO, very likely as well. Martino runs into shots. And Luna KO sub, 10-1. Bit of cheese, bit of cheddar. Should be pretty nice. Tenner on, £100 back. 30 quid on, £300 back. £100 on, £1,000 back. Do what you fucking need to do, mate. That is me. Thank you for watching. I hope you have found this helpful. Please let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe, all that shit. In a bit.